Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to day 4 of my Vlogmas 2025-2026. I'm really excited to share with you today one of my most favorite ways to decorate a wedding cake, and that is with bas relief. Bas relief adds such beautiful texture to a cake, and especially when you add other embellishments along with it. Or you can decorate an entire cake with bas relief. Now, this cake over here, you can see there's a design on it all the way around, and that is a bas relief design that I decided to do on that cake. What I want to share with you today is about texture. Texture on a wedding cake just really elevates the cake and gives it dimension and interest and design. In my business, gone are the days are the very smooth, simple wedding cakes with no design on them and just some wedding flowers on them. I specialize in textured cakes, and I absolutely love making them. Now, for an example, I used a cake drum, and I often do this when I'm working on different designs that I want to share. I will take a 6-inch cake drum, cover it in fondant, and then decide on the texture that I want to use to be able to show you and teach you. Now, this particular design has bas relief. I will show you, and it is going up on an angle on the cake, and then I also have some pearls underneath it just to give it a little bit more texture and direction. And these right here are it's an impression mat. It's a love letter impression mat, and I will often place that onto the fondant before I put the fondant on the cake. So if I'm doing a paneling style of covering the cake in fondant, where you put the top piece on first and then you roll out everything else the width of the diameter of the cake, and then you apply it around the cake. So a lot of times if I want to do an impression like this, it's harder to do when you have it on the cake because you're pressing up against the cake and you could cause the icing to mush up or whatnot. So I will lay it out and let it rest a few minutes, and then I put my impression on it, and then I will apply it to the cake. And this will actually make a deeper impression using that pattern. And then sometimes I will add some glitter to go along with it, just a little touch here and there, nothing too much to make it gaudy or anything like that. But bas relief is a really absolutely gorgeous design, and I usually use a couple of different molds for that. I'll pick out some molds that kind of go with the theme of the cake, such as in the summertime, I'll pick out some summer molds. I have molds with birds and hummingbirds and birds' nests and things like that, more on the nature side. And then other times I will use more florals. Now, these are, I will show you my two favorite molds that I use to do the bas relief design. And this is one mold, and it's hard to see, but it's a flower mold, and there's a rose right there. There's other florals here. I have a few wedding cakes that I've made in this, and this one is another one. This is more along the sign of nature. There's some leaves and acorns, and what do we have here? Some vines, ivy leaves. And the trick with bas relief is you don't want to fill the mold completely up with the fondant. So it's not completely out of the cake, it's just, it blends in. It's like it's very slightly indented out of the cake. So you don't want to fill the mold completely. And you can even leave pieces out, and then when you pull it out, and if you have little holes in the pieces, it makes it even more realistic, because then it shows the depth of the bas relief. And bas relief is also known as low relief. A high relief is if you would use the entire mold to fill up with fondant and then put that onto the cake. As such, over here, some of this design over here is more of a high relief, and then some of it is also a bas relief, which is a low relief, meaning it's not just slightly coming out of the cake. And most of the time, a bas relief design is in the same color as the fondant on the cake to make it look like it's just part of the cake. It's just coming out of the cake slightly. It gives a really interesting visual. So I am going to be working on a cake today, and I'm going to be using bas relief. And I'm just going to be using these two particular molds because they are the ones that I have a feel for the theme of the cake. So those are my two that I go to for a nice romantic design. Another thing that you want to do when you're adding bas relief to a cake, when you pull off the mold piece and you put it onto the cake, I usually put it on with a little bit of water. You don't have to use edible glue or anything like that. Water will help fondant stick to fondant. And then you just want to get your Dresden tool or another tool that helps even edges, and you just want to smooth the edges out to make it look like it's part of the cake, that it's not just an applied mold piece. I have not done bas relief on buttercream. My specialty is fondant covered cakes, and I believe that it helps create a nice blank slate for beautiful designs. Okay, folks, that's all I have for today, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And again, please, please, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It will help you see my videos, and it will help others see the videos. And I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for our next topic. Bye for now.